What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to a few subscribers for showing love. Shout out to the brother Aram for the donations to the channel via the PayPal. I see 2 donations from you via the PayPal. Much respect to you for showing love. Also want to give a shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the brother Robert Mason, for showing love twice via the PayPal. Much respect to you for showing love. I'm a little bit behind with the donations. Also want to give a shout out to R. Albert Gregg III with the $10 donation via the PayPal. And he says, quote, "In appreciation of the knowledge and insights you share with us, thank you." And shout out to Nathaniel Hansen, the donation to the channel via the PayPal. Says, "Rest in peace to defense in the NBA." Yep. It's done. Defense is done. It's a wrap, man. So, in this particular video, I got a question from a subscriber. And the question was, Mike, Iverson or Pistol Pete? Pistol Pete? I watched Pete and I saw AI play. As much as I love Pistol, I have them both as equals, but I have to give the edge to Iverson. However, put them in today's soft league, Pistol would average 35 with 8 dimes. What do you think? Well, let me talk about Iverson since he's not pictured here. I mean, like I said, these are just opinions. Hey, you got your opinion, I have mine, you know. I just have a platform. But what I say isn't like the be-all, end-all. But I would imagine that the one thing that would go up tremendously with AI would be his efficiency. He played an era where he didn't have a lot of help offensively. He had help defensively, but not offensively. So oftentimes when you watch AI, he had to utilize his quickness to get a good shot off. He expended a lot of energy. He was often double teamed. He often took difficult shots. The spacing wasn't very great. There weren't a lot of three-point shooters on the Philadelphia 76ers team. Even for the era, Philadelphia lacked shooters. Other teams had three-point specialists. Philly did not. In this era, he would have those guys. Defenses were a lot more physical. AI is a small guy. A tough motherfucker, but he's a small guy. Look how offensive friendly today's NBA is, and look at the percentages that a guy like Steph Curry shoots, generally speaking, even though he takes a lot of threes. Now this year he's shooting around 45%. That's like next to his career low. He is getting older, but he takes a lot of threes now. The other day he took 20-something threes. Amazing. That almost never happened in the 90s and 2000s. So I think AI would take more threes. When he played, he was never a great three-point shooter, even for the era that he played in. I don't know. I think he would take more threes if he was playing today. He still would have that quickness advantage. He'd be even better because you can do even more with the basketball now. He'd be more unstoppable. He wouldn't have the resistance he used to have, so I don't think he has to take as many shots now. I don't think he has to take 30 shots sometimes, 35 shots sometimes. I don't think he had to take as many shots. I think he would, if he shot 42.5% for his career, When you look at the fact that in that 2005-2006 season, he shot about 45% from the floor, compared to 40, 41, 42% earlier. Man, I would think in today's NBA he would shoot 40, 46%, 47%, maybe even some years 48%. I think he would be in that 46 to 48% range because it's just so much easier to shoot. I don't think he takes as many shots now because his efficiency would go up. I think with more help, I think his assists would go up. I think in his career he averaged about 6 assists per game. I think in today's NBA his career average would be more around 7 assists. I think he'd have years averaging 8, 9 assists. So offensively he'd be tremendous. Now Pete Maravich was bigger, right? Pete Maravich was bigger, a little bit stronger, but he was heavy. He was very, very hindered by the NBA that he played in. The assist rules were a lot stricter. Ball handling rules were a lot stricter. One thing I do think there'll be a negative on Pete. I think Pete would sometimes take bad shots because it's not that he's consciously doing that. Pete just had so much confidence that he could shoot from anywhere on the floor. I think that'll be a problem with Pete. Especially in today's permissive NBA where you could shoot from half court. I think that'd be one problem with Pete Maravich. Sometimes, he can get a little bit trigger happy. And I think he would have a lot of turnovers. I think he would be amongst the leaders, especially if he was playing on a mediocre team. He had a lot of possessions. The offense would run through him. I think he would be essentially a combo guard, I guess, in today's NBA. I think he would have a lot of turnovers. Honestly, I think he would average like 4 to 5 turnovers a night. I honestly think he would. I think he would average a lot of turnovers. He'd have a lot of spectacular assists, though. I think he would average 7 to 8 assists, maybe even close to 9. But he would be a turnover-prone guy. But I think for some reason the media wouldn't give him as much flack on it as they did Russell Westbrook. With the three-point shot, man, I think he would consistently average over 30 points per game in today's NBA. I think he would threaten Michael Jordan's career scoring record. I think he would average well over 30 points per game. He was what I would call Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Iverson. Those type of players were they didn't have a conscience when it came to shooting the basketball. Adrian Dantley was an efficient guy. Adrian Dantley could get you 40, but he might only take 15 shots in some games. He might go 12 for 15, right? But then go 16 or 20 from the line. These guys, they shoot. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be uncommon for Pete Maravich to have 50 points, but took 45 shots to get those 50 points. That's just how he was. He was a pure scorer. So Pete Maravich, I think, would lead the NBA in field goal attempts. A healthy Pete Maravich would lead the NBA in field goal attempts, shot attempts, probably be a perennial scoring leader. Wouldn't be the best defender. I think that'd be a weakness in this game. Wouldn't be the best defender. But offensively, he'd be amazing. I think he'd be spectacular at times. With the no-look passes, and the way the game goes up and down. Yeah, he'd be on the highlight reels of ESPN every night. You know what I'm saying? I do think he would probably have some issues with at times, if you're talking about the same Pete Maravich from the 60s and 70s, I think he would have some issues at times playing within the team concept. I think he would have some issues with some coaches because we're trying to put Pete Maravich in today's NBA. He did have some issues in his personal life. But generally speaking, I think he'd be phenomenal. So that's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, any given season, I think Pete Maravich, hell, if he had that one year where he averaged 31.1 with no three-point line, there's no reason to say that he couldn't average 33, 34, 35 points a game in the season. Absolutely no reason not to think that. But anyway, that's just my take on it. Tell me what you guys think.